George Washington. First U.S. President, 1789 to 1797. No-party Whiskey Rebellion. Two-term precedent, entangling alliances and the two-party system. John Adams. Second U.S. President, 1779 to 1801. Federalist XYZ Affair, Alien and Sedition Affair, Midnight Judges. Thomas Jefferson. Third U.S. President, 1801 to 1809. Democratic-Republican Louisiana Purchase Embargo Act, author of the Declaration of Independence. James Madison. Fourth U.S. President, 1809 to 1817. Democratic-Republican framer of the Constitution, War of 1812, Treaty of Ghent. James Monroe. Fifth U.S. President, 1817 to 1825. Democratic-Republican Monroe Doctrine, Era of Good Feelings, Missouri Compromise. John Quincy Adams. Sixth U.S. President, 1825 to 1829. Democratic-Republican corrupt Barkin wrote the Monroe Doctrine, only former president to serve in the House of Representatives. Andrew Jackson. Seventh U.S. President, 1829 to 1837. Democratic spoil system, kill the Bank of U.S. Indian Removal Act, SC Nullification Crisis. Martin Van Buren. Eighth U.S. President, 1837 to 1841. Democratic father of the Democratic Party, Panic of 1839, refused to annex Texas. William H. Harrison. Ninth U.S. President, 1841–1841. Whig won the Battle of Tippecanoe, first to die in office, only lasted a month. John Tyler. Tenth U.S. President, 1841 to 1845. Whig first Vice President to become President, annex Texas, Webster-Ashburn Treaty. James K. Polk. Eleventh U.S. President, 1845 to 1849. Democratic Manifest Destiny President, Mexican-American War, Oregon Territory. Zachary Taylor. Twelfth U.S. President, 1849 to 1850. Whig Mexican War Hero, second president to die in office. Millard Fillmore. 13th U.S. President, 1850 to 1853. Whig Compromise of 1850. Second Vice President to become President. Franklin Pierce. 14th U.S. President, 1853 to 1857. Democratic Kansas-Nebraska Act, leading Kansas, Missouri Compromise repealed. James Buchanan. 15th U.S. President, 1857 to 1861. Democratic South Carolina seceded. Abraham Lincoln. 16th U.S. President, 1861 to 1865. Republican won Civil War. Emancipation Proclamation, Gettysburg Address. Andrew Johnson. 17th U.S. President, 1865 to 1869. Democratic first to be impeached. Reconstruction. Ulysses S. Grant. 18th U.S. President 1869 to 1877, Republican Civil War General, Credit Mobiler, Whiskey Ring, Indian Ring. Rutherford B. Hayes. 19th U.S. President 1877 to 1881, Republican ended Reconstruction Compromise of 1877. James Garfield. 20th U.S. President 1881-1881, Republican second president to be assassinated, Civil Service Reform. Chester A. Arthur. 21st U.S. President 1881-1885, Republican, created the Pendleton Act to improve civil service, ungraded the Navy. Grover Cleveland. 22nd U.S. President 1885-1889, Democratic-only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. Benjamin Harrison. 23rd U.S. President 1889-1893, Republican-only grandson of a former president, passed the McKinley Tariff which helped monopolies. Grover Cleveland. 24th U.S. President 1893-1897, Democratic Panic of 1893, worst depression in American history until the Great Depression. William McKinley. 25th U.S. President 1897-1901, Republican, big money president, was against bimetallism, Spanish-American War. Theodore Roosevelt. 26th U.S. President 1901-1909, Republican progressive president, trust buster Roosevelt. Corollary: Panama Canal, big stick diplomacy. William H. Taft. 27th U.S. President 1909-1913, Republican progressive, trust buster, dollar diplomacy, Supreme Court Justice. Woodrow Wilson. 28th U.S. President 1913-1921, Democratic World War I, 14 points, moral diplomacy. Warren G. Harding. 29th U.S. President 1921-1923, Republican return to normalcy, Teapot Dome. Calvin Coolidge. 30th U.S. President 1923-1929, Republican Roaring Twenties, supported big business. Herbert Hoover. 31st U.S. President 1929-1933, Republican stock market crash, volunteerism, attacked the Bonus Army. Franklin D. Roosevelt. 32nd U.S. President 1933-1945, Democratic. Harry S. Truman. 33rd U.S. President 1945-1953, Democratic. Dwight D. Eisenhower. 34th U.S. President 1953-1961, Republican. John F. Kennedy. 35th U.S. President 1961-1963, Democratic. Lyndon B. Johnson. 36th U.S. President 1963-1969, Democratic. Richard Nixon. 37th U.S. President 1969 to 1974, Republican. Gerald Ford. 38th U.S. President 1974 to 1977, Republican. Jimmy Carter. 39th U.S. President 1977 to 1981, Democratic. Ronald Reagan. 40th U.S. President 1981 to 1989, Republican. George H.W. Bush. 41st U.S. President 1989 to 1993, Republican. Bill Clinton. 42nd U.S. President 1993 to 2001, Democratic. George W. Bush. 43rd U.S. President 2001 to 2009, Republican. Barack Obama. 44th U.S. President 2009-2016, Democratic. Donald Trump. 45th U.S. President 2016 present.